In this video, I'm going to rate every single BTO project offered in July 2025. To make it more objective, I will be using a rating system based on each project's location, the potential resale value, the starting asking price, the number of nearby schools, and available amenities. But before we dive into the details, let me first explain how my rating system works. Here are several criteria I'm using. For locations, I'm giving 5 stars if you can travel to the CBD area within 30 minutes by public transportation and the nearest train station is less than a 10 minutes walk away. However, if the train station is a little further and requires more walking, then I will give it 4 stars. If the distance from the BTO to the CBD area is between 30 to 60 minutes and the train station is near, then I will give it 3 stars. But again, if the train station is further away, I will downgrade the stars and I will only give it 2 stars. If the BTO is more than 1 hour away by public transportation, then I'll just give it 1 star. At that stage, the distance to the train station doesn't really matter. The next criteria I'm using is the resale value of a 4-room flat in the area based on recent historical transactions. If it's more than $800,000, then I will give it 5 stars. But if it's between $700,000 and under $800,000, then I will give it 4 stars, and so on. When we talk about resale value, then logically we should also rate based on the BTO's lowest asking price, right? However, because this video was created before HDB officially launched the July BTO, at this point in time, I can only estimate the starting price of a 4-room flat based on recent project offerings. Obviously, the cheaper the better. If it's under $300,000, then I will give it 5 stars. But if the starting price for a 4-room flat goes beyond $450,000, then I will give it 1 star. The next criteria that I'm using is the number of nearby schools. So this one is a little tricky because the BTO hasn't been completed yet. We can't really use the MOE school finder. Hence, I'm just going to rate based on the number of schools shown on the map that HDB used to launch the BTO. So it's not based on how many schools are available within 2 kilometers, but rather just whatever is displayed on the HDB map. To simplify, I'm not going to take into consideration whether a particular school is famous or not, because in theory, all schools supposed to be good schools, right? If the number of schools is beyond 25, then I will give it 5 stars. If it's between 20 to 24, I'll give it 4 stars, and so on and so forth. Now, rating amenities is where things get a little tricky. I decided just to be subjective on this one because I don't think we can simply count based on the number of hawker centers, shops, and malls and parks. Why? Because it also depends on the size, the distance, etc. So for this one, I will just be subjective. Feel free to disagree. Ideally, I would want to use the estimated waiting time for these BTOs to be built. Unfortunately, we don't know this information yet, and we will only know after the projects are fully launched in July. If you would like to see the final rating after we have all the information from HDB, comment down below and give a thumbs up to this video. Okay, let's start with the Alexandra BTO. This site used to be where the old Alexandra post office stood for over 60 years. It's right next to Alexandra Peaks, a BTO project launched in December 2023 that was sold under the Prime Location Public Housing or PLH scheme. So, no wonder that this new launch will also be subjected to the 10-year MOP. It's really convenient, less than a 10 minutes walk to Red Hill MRT station on the east-west line, and the Delta Sports Center is also nearby with an active SG gym and the Delta Swimming Complex for those who enjoy sports and swimming. Families will find the location handy because it's close to several schools, including Alexandra Primary School, Gan and Seng Primary School, etc. In terms of location, I would definitely give this BTO project 5 stars. It's very convenient commute to the CBD area, and the Red Hill MRT station is within walking distance. For resale value, this is another 5 stars. A 4-room flat can easily fetch $1 million here if it's on a high floor or maybe even a mid-level floor. Remember that because this project has a 10-year MOP and there's the development time, whoever buys a project here can only sell in about maybe 14 years or so from now. If the property price in Singapore keep rising, who knows? Maybe by then, even a 4-room flat on a mid-floor level can be resold at above $1 million already. In terms of the starting asking price, well, no surprise, it's on the higher side. Hence, I will give it 1 star for this. How about the number of schools? So there are roughly 14 schools shown on the HDB map, so I'll give it 2 stars. Regarding amenities, there are several shopping malls, markets, and other amenities nearby, such as Tiong Bahru Plaza, IKEA Alexandra, Alexandra Central, and Delta Sports Center, etc. Not to mention small shops and clinics near the Red Hill MRT station. So all in all, I will give it 4 stars for amenities. If we average all the numbers, Alexandra BTO gets a 3.4 out of 5 scale. Next, we have the Tanglin BTO. This BTO is actually not that far from the Alexandra BTO, but it is separated by the Alexandra Linear Canal Park. So indeed, it is further away from the Red Hill MRT station, probably about 15 to 20 minutes walk, but overall this BTO is still in a very good location. For reference, Alexandra Vale, a nearby BTO project that was launched in August 2022, was categorized under the PLH scheme. So no wonder that this project will have a 10-year MOP and bunch of other strict restrictions as well. This new development will have useful facilities including a preschool, an eating house, a supermarket, and 2 shops. It will be relatively easy to get to Orchard Road from here thanks to more direct bus routes. For families, the biggest advantage is that it is right next to the Crescent's Girls' School. It is also near several other schools such as Gan Eng Seng Primary School, Alexandra Primary School, etc. In terms of location, I would give this BTO project 4 stars. It is quite close to the CBD area, but to be fair, the MRT station is a little bit far. If you are healthy and vibrant, you can walk in around 15 minutes or so, but for the elderly or for those who simply do not want to walk under the sun, it is just 1 bus stop away to the Red Hill MRT station. In terms of resale value, I would give it another 5 stars. A 4-room flat in the area can be transacted above $1 million, especially if you are facing low-rise buildings such as the Crescent Girls' School or the cluster of landed houses. In terms of starting asking price, well, no surprise that again it is on the higher side due to its great location. I mean, the place is surrounded by embassies, landed houses, and near Orchard Road. What do you expect? Of course, it's going to be expensive. Hence, I will give it 1 star for this. How about school options? Based on the number of schools displayed on the HDB map for this project, I will give it 2 stars. In terms of amenities, HDB has allocated space to build an eating house and a supermarket in the project itself. Other than that, you can walk towards Red Hill MRT station where you can find eateries, shops, clinics, etc. If you want a more upscale option, you can take a bus to Tanglin Mall or even go all the way to Orchard Road. So I will give it 4 stars for amenities. If we average all the numbers, Tanglin BTO gets a 3.2 out of 5 scale. Please note that under the current HDB rules, you can only apply for a town and a flat type. So you can't really choose between the Alexandra or Tanglin BTO because both are located in the Bukit Merah area. If your preferred project runs out of units before your turn, you may be left with the alternative. Declining to book a flat risks losing your first-timer priority, and you face a 1-year application ban if you do that twice. But I think both projects are solid and you'll be lucky to get either of them. Okay, let's move on to the Clementi BTO. This is another project that is super popular. You can walk to Clementi MRT from here. Right now, this station is on the east-west line, but in the future, it will also be an interchange because the Cross Island line will have a stop here too. There are a few shopping malls and many shops nearby. But interestingly, despite of the ample amenities nearby, the site will still have an eating house, a mini mart, and a preschool. There will also be a new polyclinic built right next to it. No wonder that this is another project that will be also subjected to the 10-year MOP. There are several schools nearby, such as Clementi Primary School, Nanhua Primary School, etc. Not to forget, Singapore Polytechnic and also NUS is around the area. Okay, now let's rate this project. In terms of location, I would give this BTO 4 stars. It is still around the 30 minutes mark to the CBD area and the Clementi MRT station is within walking distance. In terms of resale value, I would give it 5 stars. The recent median price for a 4-room flat in this area is around $917,000 because of its great location and a mature town. In terms of starting asking price, it's a little bit difficult because it has been a while since BTO project launched in Clementi. Back in 2017, the median price for a 4-room flat in the Clementi North Arc project was around $318,000, but that was like 8 years ago. So I'm guessing the starting price for a 4-room flat here would just be under $450,000. I don't know, so I'll give it 2 stars. How about school options? Based on the number of schools displayed on the HDB map for this project, I'll give it 3 stars. In terms of amenities, it's a mature area with an eating house, a mini mart, and a preschool on site, plus there will be a polyclinic next door. Hence, I'm rating the amenities 4 stars. If we average all the numbers, Clementi BTO gets a 3.6 out of 5 scale. Now, let's talk about the Toa Payoh BTO. What really makes this connection great is how near it is to the Caldecott MRT interchange because it can connect you both to the Circle Line and the Top Thompson East Coast Line as well as Bradel MRT Station on the north-south line. That means getting around will be pretty easy. The project will also have an eating house, 2 shops and a preschool, so you have some useful amenities right at your doorstep. The unique selling point of this project is the fact that it's near several popular schools such as the Raffles Girls Secondary School and also CHIJ Primary and Secondary Schools. As it is located in a mature area and close to an MRT station, no wonder this Toa Payoh BTO is also subjected to the 10-year MOP. In terms of resale value, the biggest threat to this project would be the Toa Payoh Ridge BTO, which is just across the street. Why? Because that project was launched just before the new classification kicked in, hence they are only subjected to a 5-year MOP and other standard restrictions. Now, let's rate this project. In terms of location, I would give this BTO project 4 stars. Travel time to CBD is around 30 minutes by public transport, 20 minutes by car. Caldecott MRT station is also still within a comfortable walking distance. In terms of resale value, again, I would give it another 5 stars. The recent median price for a 4-room flat in the area is around $948,000. Surprisingly, it is higher than the Clementi's median resale value. In terms of starting asking price, when Toa Payoh Ridge BTO was launched back in 2020, the starting price for a 4-room flat was $395,000. So I'm guessing that the launch price for this upcoming Toa Payoh BTO will be under $450,000. I'm not sure, but I'll give it 2 stars. How about school options? Based on the number of schools displayed on the HDB map for this project, there are around 19 schools, so I'll give it 3 stars. In terms of amenities, you can ride a bus to Toa Payoh Central, Mount Alvernia Hospital, and Makrichi Reservoir is also nearby. But the catch here is you kinda have to take public transportation to go to notable amenities. In terms of amenities that are within walking distance, the area is still kinda underdeveloped. You have to travel by bus or MRT to get groceries, go to the clinic or shops. All in all, I'm rating the amenities as 3 stars for this Toa Payoh BTO. If we average all the numbers, Toa Payoh BTO gets a 3.4 out of 5 scale. Next, let's talk about the Tampines BTO. Although I'm referring it as Tampines BTO, note that the nearest MRT station is actually the Upper Changi MRT station, which means it is in a more or less developed part of Tampines. The area has changed a lot in the last 10 years, especially with places such as the Singapore Expo, the Singapore University of Technology and Design, and the downtown line coming in. For this project, you'll get an eating house, a supermarket, 4 shops, a fast food place, and a preschool, so there are plenty of useful things nearby. The site is right across the Upper Changi MRT station on the downtown line, which makes traveling around convenient. If you have children, you'll be glad to know there are several schools nearby. As mentioned, the Singapore University of Technology and Design is also around the corner, and you can also find the SIA Training Center just down Upper Changi Road East. Now, let's rate this project. In terms of location, I would give this BTO project 3 stars. Travel time to CBD is more than 30 minutes, but it is within walking distance to Upper Changi MRT station, which is just across the street. In terms of resale value, the recent median price for a 4-room flat in the area is around $688,000, so I'll give this project 3 stars. In terms of starting asking price, when Tampines Green Topaz BTO was launched back in 2024, the starting price for a 4-room flat was $445,000. Since it was just last year and the location of this BTO in a less developed part of Tampines, I'm assuming the price would be more or less the same, so I'll give it 2 stars. How about school options? Based on the number of schools displayed on the HDB map for this project, there are quite a lot of schools nearby, so I'll give it 4 stars. In terms of amenities, it is near Singapore Expo, East Point Mall, Changi Simei Community Club, Changi General Hospital, etc. Subjectively, I'll just give the amenities 3 stars. If we average all the numbers, this Tampines BTO gets a 3 out of 5 scale. Okay, next, let's talk about the Woodlands BTO. This is a mega project offering 1,130 units. This high number of flats increases the likelihood of applicants successfully securing a unit, which is particularly appealing for those who have faced repeated ballot disappointments in previous launches. Situated near Woodlands Checkpoint, this development is ideal for those who frequently travel to JB, whether for work, leisure, or family reasons. The proximity to the checkpoint makes cross-border trips much more convenient. The area is undergoing significant transformation under the Woodlands North Coast Master Plan. This initiative aims to introduce new job centers, green spaces, and waterfront attractions, all of which are expected to enhance the livability and vibrancy of the neighborhood over time. For buyers with a long-term perspective, These changes could translate into improved amenities and potentially higher property values in the future. Okay, let's rate this project. In terms of location, obviously this site is quite far from the CBD area, but the BTO is within walking distance to the nearest MRT station. From Woodlands North MRT station to Raffles Place MRT station, it's about 43 minutes. So based on the rating scale, I'll give this project 3 stars. In terms of resale value, the recent median price for a 4-room flat in the area is around $552,000, which is modest compared to central areas, so I'll give this project 2 stars. In terms of starting selling price, when the Woodlands North Verge BTO project was launched earlier this year, the starting price for a 4-room flat was $365,000. The location of this upcoming Woodlands BTO is literally next to it, so I expect the price to be similar, which means for starting selling price, this project gets 3 stars. How about school options? Based on the number of schools displayed on the HDB map for this project, there are around 27 schools nearby, so I'll give it 5 stars. For amenities within the development itself, residents will benefit from a preschool and a residence network center, which will help foster a sense of community. However, it is worth noting that there are no dedicated commercial facilities such as supermarkets or eateries planned within the site itself, so residents may need to rely on nearby neighborhood centers for daily necessities. Alternatively, you can take the MRT or bus to Woodlands MRT station area where you can find more amenities. For this, I will rate the amenities for this project 2 stars. If we average all the numbers, this Woodlands BTO gets a 3 out of 5 scale. Next, we have the Sembawang BTO. This Sembawang BTO project stands out for its unique offering of 3-gen flats, catering to the needs of larger or multi-generational families. The development is set in a tranquil green environment. However, note that it is a long 15 to 20 minutes walk to the Sembawang MRT. Although, of course, you can always take a bus if you don't want to walk that far. While the area may lack extensive connectivity options, the presence of multiple schools nearby adds to its appeal for families. Overall, it is a reasonable choice for those prioritizing family space, a peaceful setting, and access to educational facilities, even if it means compromising slightly on transport convenience. Okay, now let's rate the project. In terms of location, obviously this site is quite far from the CBD area, and unfortunately the Sembawang MRT station is also a little bit far. So I will give this project 2 stars for its location. In terms of resale value, I was quite surprised to read that the recent median resale price for a 4-room flat here was $638,000. Somehow I was expecting to see a lower number. With this, I am giving this project 3 stars for resale value. In terms of starting selling price, so Sembawang is near Yishun, right? And last year a 4-room flat at Chencharu Hills was launched starting at $279,000. So I'm estimating the launch price for this Sembawang BTO will also be along the same line. If you are looking for a budget option, this project is definitely a strong contender. So I will give it 5 stars for asking price. How about school options? Based on the numbers of schools displayed on the HDB map for this project, there's only like 8 schools shown or something, so I'll give it just 1 star. In terms of amenities, well, amenities within walking distance seems sparse. You have the Sembawang Mart, and also there's an eating house a couple blocks away. But if you want more amenities, I guess you just have to go to the nearby Sembawang MRT station where you have Sun Plaza, other shops, and eateries. So I'll give it 2 stars for amenities. If we average all the numbers, this Sembawang BTO project gets 2.6 out of 5 scale. Okay, last but not least, we have the Bukit Panjang BTO. This project is situated deep within the Bukit Panjang housing estate, offering a tranquil living environment that is somewhat removed from the hustle and bustle of more central locations. While the site might not be the most well-connected in terms of immediate transport options, it does have the standard restrictions with the typical 5-year MOP. One of the key features of this site is its proximity to Senghua Nature Park. The park not only provides residents with access to green spaces and recreational opportunities, but it also serves as a natural buffer, absorbing noise from the nearby Bukit Timah Expressway. This should contribute to hopefully a quieter and more pleasant living environment, especially for those who value nature and outdoor activities. In terms of location, obviously this site is quite a commute from the CBD area, and you'll have to switch from the LRT station to MRT station, etc. But at least it is within walking distance to Bangkit LRT station. Based on the matrix, I'll give this project 3 stars for its location. In terms of resale value, the recent median resale price for a 4-room flat here was $561,000, so I'll give this project 2 stars for resale value. In terms of starting asking price, when Petir Park H BTO was launched back in 2023, the starting price for a 4-room flat was $320,000. So I think the asking price for this HDB probably going to be slightly higher but should still be around that much. So I'll give this project 4 stars for asking price. How about school options? Based on the number of schools displayed on the HDB map for this project, there are around 14 schools shown on the map, so I'll give it 2 stars. In terms of amenities, actually you have several hawker centers within 500 meters, so I'm actually quite surprised that HDB was kind enough to build an on-site eating house on the premise. For more amenities, you can take the LRT to Fajar Shopping Center or go to the Bukit Panjang MRT area, because there you can find the Hilin Mall and the Bukit Panjang Plaza. So I'll rate the amenities for this project to be 3 stars. If we average all the numbers, this Bukit Panjang BTO gets 2.8 out of 5 scale. I'm sure you are curious to see the summary of how all of these projects scores stacked up against one another, so here is the combined table. Personally, I was kind of surprised to see that based on the rating matrix, Clementi BTO is the winner, but of course you might have different priorities. For example, if nearby schools are not relevant for you, or if you just want to focus on the potential profit that you want to make, you can do a weighted average and end up with a very different scoreboard. Comment down below if you want me to update this video after HDB shared the estimated waiting time and the actual asking price of the July BTO projects. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!